Great Friday, my friends. Yo, my first two passengers have cracked me up. Mind you, I washed the car. It's super clean in here. But the first girl got in here and she was like, can you turn the AC off? And I was like, oh yes, of course. And I was like, do you want some heat? She's like, no, I think it'll just be fine with no AC. And I was like, okay, good, I got you. And then the second girl got in. She was going to work out. She hopped in here. And I was like, hey, good to see you. She's like, good to see you too. Can you roll the windows down? I'm really hot right now. And I was like, of course, I love fresh air. I do. This morning fresh air was great. Wow. Let's live a great Friday, my friends. Every day's a miracle, and that's what you are. What a day. Hey, what a day. I just picked up this girl, third passenger. She got in the car and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm running late. And I was like, no, you're not. She's like, what? I said, you're driving late. I'm just playing. But she got in the car at 6:45 and her plane left at 8 a.m. And I picked her up on like La Cienega and like Beverlywood. I got some greatness in my chest. Yeah. Anyhow, entertaining rides this morning. Cheers to the next one. Fourth rider of the day. My man gets in the car. Well, actually, he was at Starbucks, right? And I just cleaned the car yesterday, right? So I'm like, make sure it's nice clean in here. He gets in late. I was about to cancel. I'm like, where's this guy at? He comes in, he jumps in. He's like, bro, they messed up my order. And I'm like, oh, you got the right thing? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, where we headed? Okay, Santa Monica, here we go. And so we started driving and he starts eating his food. And I'm saying, you guys, I turned the music down because homeboy was chewing so loud. He reminded me of like a rabbit with a carrot. And he wasn't just chewing it, he was tasting it and making faces with it. He's like, whoa, eyes going up. Oh, and I'm just like, he had his headphones in so he couldn't even see me. And I was like, or hear me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this boy is chewing, like chewing's going out of style. And so, but I noticed he's chewing and there's crumbs going all over us. And I'm like, this is a good practicing moment. How are we gonna practice here? So, still rolling. He finishes his food. Boy is still eating. I'm like, what? He's still eating the food that's gone. Like he's like, making sounds like, like he done found a new piece of the sandwich he already ate in his mouth. It seems like that. So he's back there just, oh. And right before we're at a stop, I'm about to take a left. He goes, oh, will you go up 2 streets more? I gotta get off on 16th. And I'm like, of course. And I'll take a left on 16th. And right when I take a left, he's like, right here is good. And I'm like, bro, this is not a good place. Like, it's right on the right turn. And so there's a parking lot right there. And that's where he was actually going. And so I'm like, there's a big mess out back there, I can see it. And so I was like, you know what, let me just take you into this parking lot. And so I didn't end the trip. I got out the car and he got out and I said, you see that? He looked at the car and he said, what? And I said, you see all that mess in there? He said, oh man, my bad. I said, did you notice that this car was cleaner than the usual lifts you get when you got in here? He said, yeah, it was real clean. I'm so sorry. And I was like, brother, look, I'm here to give you a ride, but I'm not here to clean up after you. And I want you to have a great day. But you're a young black man, and I gotta let you know that you're gonna leave things behind everywhere you go, and you shouldn't leave trash. And I'm not here to pick up after you, I'm here to give you a ride. And so, you see that mess in there? And we both looked at the back seat because it was a healthy mess. A lot of crumbs from his Starbucks croissant on the floor and on the seat. He looked at it. I had these towels in my hand. And I said, so who should clean this up right now? And he was like, oh. And I was like, you should, but I'm going to. because I pride myself on serving people well. But I'm gonna let you know one thing, my friend. My grandfather says you should always leave things better than how you came. So like, you know, wherever you're going today, stay conscious of that. And don't think of me being angry or mad at you right now. I want to encourage you to be aware that where you're going is going to receive a piece of you, and you're going to leave that behind. And so don't leave any more crumbs the rest of the day. Leave good energy and good vibrations, because that's what I'm giving to you right now, okay? And he was like, oh, man. Now I want a breakfast sandwich, because my car smells like a breakfast sandwich, and I'm about to pick up Lucy, and I'm gonna hit this Palo Santo so it don't smell like breakfast in here. What a day! My last passenger, Linda, was such a lovely lady. She was older. She was like from Australia or something. She got on her phone. She was on a conference call and turned the music down so she could hear. It was a very short ride. She sat behind me so I couldn't see her. She was smiling when she got in. And then when I was getting ready to pull up to her destination, she touched me. And I said, oh, she touched my shoulder. She touched me. And she touched me, and I didn't expect it. And I was just like, oh, I don't get touched that often, y'all. She touched me. And I was like, whoa. She's like, it's right here. And I was like, ah. And she was just smiling so big. I was like, you sweet old lady. Have a great day. Don't touch me. Hey, everything's working for me. Shout out to my last rider, Jonathan. He was a high schooler going to school. I asked him if he was learning anything this year. He was like, not much. I asked him if he knew what he wanted to do with his life, and he was like, I think so. So I gave him a card at the beginning of the trip, and I said, man, think about what you were writing in that white box, your goal, your gift, your dream. He said, I want to be an electrician. I said, awesome. Are you going to own that business? He was like, yeah, I actually do want to own my electrician business, and I want to help take care of families. And I was like, you're on the right path. And then we started talking about how electricity is able to serve many of us, and you know, like energy, it's not to just be set on. It has to keep on moving, just like money, reinvest, diversify, all that stuff. But unlike money and unlike us as human beings, electricity has no color, and we all use it. And so what he's able to do with his gift is to light people up and keep people's lights on in their homes, their businesses, and their wherever they're at, and serving all walks of life. And I was like, man, that's the way to go, because for me, that's my gift too, serving all walks of life. And as a leader with a positive mental attitude on purpose, I must serve. And I'm grateful for this experience with the young man this morning. He put his card in his wallet, and he was like, I'm going to be an electrician. And then we talked about how he can get an internship during his trade school work. And I just got a ride, so gotta go. Wow, Elizabeth, I had no idea Gecko's tails fell off. Whoa, Elizabeth told me the story about how she was in an Airbnb and there was a gecko in there, and she was just like, oh, I'ma just pick it up from his tail. She said she picked up the gecko, and the tail came off the body. Gecko left, tail kept moving. Not a gecko experience I'm looking forward to having. I don't want no piece of that gecko experience. She didn't either, but it was funny. And that's something I learned today, that geckos' tails come off and then they grow back. Don't ever say I didn't teach you nothing. Yo, shout out to my last rider, Christian from UCLA. He got done with his finals today, and then I just dropped him off at a reading center so he could volunteer and help children learn how to read and write books. It was lit. And when we were talking, I came across this, we were talking about solutions, and I said something to him. I said, you know, solutions come from a lack of solutions, which are essentially problems. And one time, I had this dope USC professor in here who told me this really cool. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you guys about that. Shout out to Christian for the solution conversation. That was dope. And we're gonna connect again, because my man, he's lit. He's smiling, he's vibrating, inspiring. I'm inspired from connecting with him. I hope you guys are having a great day. You know what I'm saying?